Look who's back. Shady's back. I actually know that song. I don't know. Hey guys, Ivan. Um, my dearest suggested I'd make this video. I really wasn't planning on it. However, she is one of my greatest inspirations, my motivation, and she said to me, "Well, she knows what it means when I say don't click on crap or don't click on shit or careful what you click on. But how does everybody else know what I'm talking about?" Yeah, I'm back in the dark again. I kind of like it this way. Yeah, it is what it is. Uh, so with that, I'm gonna make a short video. I made a longer one earlier, and I don't want to go into a whole bunch of cybersecurity. I just left this world. So I'm going to do overlays here, but I'm going to speak to them first, I think, and we'll see how that works out. So we'll give it a shot, and if that doesn't work, then I got a feeling I'm going to be up at 3 o'clock again doing these videos. And let's try not to pop peas and enunciate. Enunciate. Yes. Yes. So instead of like, how Coach does, I sing Charlie Daniels. One of these days, because I heard Baron, I forgot who he was singing, but I'll go toe to toe with you with Devil Went Down to Georgia, brother. So with that, let's talk about a little bit about cybersecurity. And when I say careful what you click on, what I mean by that, right? So do you remember back in the day when, or maybe you don't, but we used to receive emails that stated, "Oh, I have billions of dollars," not Larry Ellison related, and my uncle or the prince of whatever in somewhere in Africa just died, and I need your bank account to help me move the money from one account to another. And if you would just send that to me, then I'll give you half of the $1 billion. Okay, sure. Like the person that I'm sure somebody might have done that, because if you send out 3 million, I'm guessing maybe one person might have. So, God bless them. Here I am going to use my better judgment and listen to my wife because she's a lot smarter than I, and I'm not stupid. And just explain a little bit about when I say careful what you click on, what I mean by that. So I went and dug up some of my old material. Actually, I didn't dig it up. I just got it new again. And I think I'm just going to do overlays because it's easier that way. I'm on OBS and I don't feel like messing with it. And it's already midnight. And I feel like I just sit here all day long and either edit or just create content. I'm not going to tell you about the 20 podcasts that I wrote out, or at least the framework for my upcoming series, which I'm so looking forward to, about the monitoring of America, the surveillance state. So don't miss that. All right, so let's get into this, right? Careful what you click on. So the first thing I'm going to hit upon are emails that we received. The number one, and I understand a lot of y'all, Texan, receive everything or do everything or watch everything on your phone. I don't. I like great big screens and monitors and great big computers because I build them for fun. My office is half built right now, and I think I've got like 200 inches of monitors right now. I'm compensating for something. No, sorry about that. I'm listening to the scanner in. Anyway, um, where was I? So computers are a little different from phones. Phones can silo applications or sandbox, depending upon what you know. But it can still be a level of infection or a level of I was going to say promiscuity, because it can go through and query some of the information you have on your phone, depending upon your phone, depending upon its operating system, and whether or not you have it patched to a certain level. So the first thing I'm going to suggest is to make sure that you keep your equipment up to date. Microsoft, Apple puts out a patch, and I noticed they put out a patch a couple of days ago, and they followed up with another patch, and that is when and it's kind of important that you look, because sometimes you don't see it. And what a patch is, it's just new software, and then if they found a vulnerability within that software, if they found a bug, let's say, or something that wasn't written correctly, how about that? Then they will issue a patch to, and you know what, Barrett even covered this on some of his stuff in a numbering convention. So I believe like iOS is like 12 dot something dot X, and I probably should know that. I really don't care right now. That's not what this video is about. It's just about not clicking on really bad stuff. So make sure your phones are patched, make sure your computers are patched, make sure that when you do your computer patching, you make sure that that patch has been thoroughly vetted, because Microsoft is a bunch of, yeah. So we're going to go over this really quick, and I'm going to give you some great examples that I dug up, that I kind of like. So let's see if I can pull up this first one and how this is going to play out. If anybody recalls, I should do this better another way. Okay, so I'm just going to keep talking, and then I'll just overlay this. So I want to stop that. Yeah. All right. About 4 or 5 years ago, a company called Coinbase had a Super Bowl commercial, and I believe it was for, I think it was 30-minute commercial, or 30 minute 30-second commercial, and for a lot of money. And all it was a QR code that just bounced up and down, and it changed colors too. And I believe there was some music in the background. I don't know. I'm not one to watch a whole bunch of the commercials. I mean, they're cute. I really didn't watch the Super Bowl this year, but that's here nor there. The thing about that was that QR code, a lot of people clicked on that and wanted to see where they were going. There was nothing else on the screen, right? And the commercial was so successful that it brought their servers down. So many people had clicked on it, they were overwhelmed. That's called the denial of service, and that's something completely different, but that's not why I'm here talking about links. The point being is that no one knew where you were going when you clicked on that QR code. That QR code took you to a link, which is a URL, to a universal resource locator, I believe, or a uniform. It's kind of up in the air whether it's uniform or universal. Anyway, and you go to wherever on your browser, right? But that could have been malware as well. So, but nobody really thought about that. Come Monday morning, I started giving a lot of folks at my company what for, because they had seen me up on stage before, and they know that I'm very particular about my group, my guys, the people that I work with, clicking on shit. And that's what they did. And a lot of them knew that they shouldn't have done it, but they did it anyway, right? Or they were with a group of people, and somebody in that group did it. So I will show that video here. See, right there. Yeah. Or actually, it would be over my face. Oh, look, my browser crashed. Isn't that wonderful? That usually happens when Baron's on. I have to rebuild this machine. I think it's just time. And we're going to click here. Yeah. So that's number one. So the QR codes, please be careful with QR codes, because you don't know where you're going. And normally, or often, not coaches often, but quite often, a QR code is associated with a tiny URL. So that makes it even more difficult. That tiny URL is just a little application that takes a long string of letters and numbers and compresses them into a little tiny, 3 or 4 letter universal resource or uniform resource locator. That's a URL. So it's just an address, right? Now, I'm not going to go deep into this stuff, I promise. And then that is where your phone is going to go. That link could have been malfeasance, where it is going to just take all of your contact data, take all of your text messages, take all of your passwords, maybe your banking information. Who knows? Who knows? So why click on it? Yeah, I get it. And a lot of people did, but now you know. Okay, so that's number one. Links that you get in email, let's stop doing that. If you don't know where they're coming from, or if it sounds too good to be true, or if it's a Nigerian prince offering you $50 million to help him move $50 billion, delete it. Move on to the next one. Just that's another link that you don't want to click on, right? That's another thing not to click on. That is the shit. Okay, so now we've covered some QR codes, and I'm going to show that on the screen. That's kind of cool. And the other thing that I want to show is this little video here of some of the people that did click on the QR code that flew in Dallas via 300 drones, and their reaction to being rickrolled. And at one point, I didn't know what rickrolled was. It's kind of a hacker thing now. It's kind of funny. Never going to give you up. That one. So that's rickrolled. But just think about it. Think about what you're clicking on before you click it, and where is your device going, and what is it going to be vulnerable to? Or maybe it's a really good link. I don't know. It could be the same exact thing via text message. It could be TPUSA. It could be TP Action. They're just sending you a link. Matter of fact, in one of my previous videos, there was a poster in, I believe, a college campus, and it just had that QR code down at the bottom. If you don't read everything with that QR code, they're just going to track you along. So look at that. What a tie-in. Oh my gosh. How great is that? Okay. So we've covered tinies, and what I'm talking about is the tiny URLs, because that obfuscates, that hides what the true URL is going to. Also, when you receive an email, look in the from, because if you receive an email from Amazon, it should be, Amazon dot whatever, not, Yahoo dot something something Amazon. No. Okay. So pay attention to that. And if you can't see it, hover over it. It will show up. Okay. That's one of the reasons why I really don't do a lot of things like that on my phone, because you just never know. And a phone is a little bit more secure because of the sandboxing. All right, let's move on to the next one. We just talked about QR codes, the shortened links. We talked about that. Unexpected messages. Oh, so from your bank. All right, look, if your bank calls you, that means you're probably rich, right? Okay, so you got your own banker. Or maybe it's a retirement fund and they want to invest your money someplace else or something of that nature. But beyond that, unless you know who's calling you, it's a scam. Microsoft is never going to call you because they identified a problem on your computer. No tech support is going to call you because they identified an issue. None, ever, unless it's your work organization. That might be something different, but at home, ain't going to happen. And I might have a picture that I'm going to put up here about that right now. So you'll see that hackers will call out people, and especially, I hate to say this, but for the elderly, right? And the sad part about this is, and I do want to kind of emphasize this, I didn't do it the first time I recorded this video, and I don't have a picture for it, but one of the things that they're doing now is they are capturing voice from maybe a relative. So like if you're an older person and you have a niece or a nephew, I'm not going to go there. And they will have that person saying, "Oh, I need some help," and that's all you hear. And so you want to go and move forward to help that individual. It very well could be AI putting it out there. If it's a ransom, my bad. And I'm not going to joke with that at all. But think about that. If you hear or receive a phone call similar to that, big companies aren't going to call you. They're just not, unless they're either collecting money or something that you've already given them permission for. Same thing with text messages. I receive a lot of well, my phone is secure, so you can't call me, but I receive a lot of text messages. The same exact thing, mostly from political advertisements. Somehow I'm on their list. It's literally against the law for somebody to send you a text. And I'm getting past careful what you click on, but at the end of the day, unless you give them express permission. So, and I'm not an expert here. You can Google this, or you can Claude it, or you can Chat GPT it, whatever. I'm just giving you a little bit of advice. That's all. And I'm sure that I'm wrong, and you go and do your own research, and you can let me know in the comments. Okay. Links that come from a technical support person that your account has been hacked. No, 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 no. And if it does, or if it is, say thank you very much, hang up the phone, and then call that entity. So if your bank has been compromised, say thank you, hang up the phone, and then call the bank yourself at a number that you have. Same thing with a credit card. Quite often, credit cards will validate that, hey, we see you made a purchase here. Is this correct? Fine, so be it. But it's not going to be AT&T or whomever, Microsoft or Apple calling you. It's no, it's not going to happen. I was about to say, especially if they have an accent. Well, that may not be true, but you get my drift here. You get my point. Nobody's really going to call you with that. Okay, so that's another thing not to click on. So if you see a link in an email or a text message, just don't. All right. So for the most part, I've covered what I mean when I say careful what you click on, right? Don't click on shit. That's all just trash. If you have any question in your head whether or not this is a good thing to click on or not, don't click it. Just don't. But I just wanted to come on and give you an idea of what I'm talking about don't click on shit. Last point, if somebody says download something to put on your computer, no. Don't give anyone access to your machine. Don't give anyone access to your computer. Don't give up your passwords ever. A bank, IRS never will ask you for a password. They will never ask you for a password. So, with that, I'm going to edit this up a little bit. I'm going to throw in some nice little pictures so you can look at, and you can laugh at the QR codes that are bouncing up and down. Please don't click on QR codes. Make them give you a menu. make them work for it. Even if you see, oh, my doctor put this QR code down there, I can print off a QR code on a sticky sheet, little tiny, and put that over top of the other QR code. And now you don't know where you're going. You might think you're going to the doctor's office to check in or something. You're not. You're going to where I want you to go. And they won't know about it until it's too late. Okay? All right. Don't mean to scare you. Just want to put out some facts there. I see also I have what is this picture of? This is a picture of a phone. Some of the applications that are being used nowadays to compromise phones, and I'm not really one up on phones a lot because it's a very tight compromise. But Duo, Skype, I don't know if anybody's still using Skype, Teams, Zoom, Hangouts, iMessage, Just Talk, and WhatsApp. WhatsApp is Meta. I know that for a fact. There are a lot of others. Anybody that is sending you a message that you don't recognize, just don't verify. Trust but verify, and then verify again, and then don't trust them anyway. Okay, keep your software up to date. Trust, verify, and then go out and look. don't trust the number that's being sent to you. If somebody says, "Oh, I need to talk to you, your computer's bad," go out and call that company on a number that you can find online via Google or Grok or something else. Don't trust, especially nowadays. AI is getting better and better and better. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to throw some pictures on here and put this up. It'll be 1 or 2 o'clock by the time I'm done. The room's kind of dark. It's red back there. Yeah, red's easier on the eyes. So I kind of like it that way. I also like the darkness too. So I wanted to do, if I ever go live, it'll be Ivan After Dark or something of that nature. Maybe I'll do that and talk about compromised systems or some of the adventures that I've gone through in my old days, because now it's a whole new world and AI is taking over and it's scary. But with that, I will say, be careful out there. Don't click on shit, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.